exchange, to have a dialogue, to have a debate.
Hello, I'm Kriti Mehta and you're watching Primetime Asia on NewsX World. Let's take a look at the top headlines this hour. Refuting rumors about Imran Khan's death, a senator from his party confirmed he is alive and currently lodged in Adiala jail. Khan is being kept in isolation as authorities exert pressure on him to leave Pakistan. Polls are underway in Kyrgyzstan's snap parliamentary election, with allies of President Sadir Japarov expected to secure a decisive victory. The vote comes amid the absence of a formal party or organized opposition. Hong Kong police say the death toll from the recent fire has risen to 146, with 79 people injured. Officials have completed search work at 4 blocks and full building searches are expected to take 3 to 4 weeks. Floods and landslides from cyclonic rains have killed more than 442 people in Sumatra. Around 80,000 have been evacuated, more than 279 remain missing, and hundreds are stranded across 3 provinces amid ongoing severe weather. At least 153 people have been killed in Sri Lanka after landslides and flooding caused by Cyclone Ditwa. Over 191 people are reportedly missing following the disaster. According to reports, Khaleda Zia remains in a very critical condition at the Dhaka hospital. Her exiled son and acting chairman Tariq Rahman said his return is not entirely in his control, fueling uncertainty. As North Korea celebrates its Air Force's 80th anniversary, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un highlighted its role in exercising nuclear war deterrence. Kim has said that the Air Force would be given new strategic assets soon. Indian cricketer Virat Kohli creates world record at India's first ODI against South Africa, smashes his 52nd ODI century. He now has 6 centuries against South Africa in the format, surpassing Sachin and David Warner. And viewers, the top focus news on Primetime Asia is the Hong Kong fire tragedy. The death toll of the Hong Kong apartment building fire, which engulfed 7 tower blocks on Wednesday, has risen to 146. According to the Hong Kong police, at least 79 people were injured in the fire, and the police have completed the search operation in 4 blocks, but the entire process of searching the burnt buildings is expected to take around 3 to 4 weeks. Meanwhile, 8 people have been arrested on suspicion of corruption over the renovation works the blocks had been undergoing, and 3 others were detained earlier on manslaughter charges. After Hong Kong's deadliest fire in over 75 years, thousands are angered and saddened, determined to gain justice for the victims, even as Beijing warned it would use a national security law to crack down on any anti-China protest in wake of fire. Meanwhile, mourners in Hong Kong queued for more than a kilometer along the banks of a canal near the burnt-out Wong Fuk Court housing complex to lay flowers and pay tributes for those who died in the city's worst fire in decades. Let's have a look at what some of the residents had to say.
悲痛同埋係咯，好複雜嘅心情嚟到呢一個地方咁樣咯。咁沿途見到好多人都係一齊排隊，好耐心咁等候，同埋一個即係獻花嘅。咁我體會到就係整個香港都市，我哋都帶咗好多嘅愛心，同埋係咯，大家都好想紀念呢件事情咁樣咯。
希望其實大家都好無助，呢個係唯一留翻喺度嘅人可以做嘅嘢。係。你有冇希望話呢件事就當然，即係我估災民上要幫佢哋嘅嘢有好多，咁但係另一樣就 無論喺政策上定係點，我估呢啲都係下一步應該要去。
And moving on, viewers, the death toll from flooding and landslides on Indonesia's Sumatra Island has surged to 442. Now, this comes as rescue teams continue evacuations and assess widespread damage. Major roads remain cut off while electricity and internet services are only partially restored. Cyclone Senyar, an exceptionally rare tropical storm, has caused catastrophic flooding and landslides, sweeping away homes and submerging thousands of buildings. Residents in Aceh province described water rising within seconds, forcing them to cling to rooftops and clotheslines for survival. Many have lost their homes and possessions, with communities struggling to recover. In Tapanuli, the worst affected area, residents reportedly raided shops in search of food amid severe shortages. Disaster authorities warn that hundreds remain stranded despite tens of thousands being evacuated. Jempita Surya, the journalist at the Narsi TV, now joins us live from Jakarta. Thank you for joining us here at NewsX World. Could you help us understand the situation on ground there, and how are authorities doing in rescue and restoration work?
Yes, it has been almost a week since the floods and landslides hit the land of Sumatra. The exact number of victims is still being counted, but according to the National Disaster Management Agency, as of Sunday afternoon, 316 people had died due to floods and landslides in 3 provinces: Aceh, West Sumatra, and North Sumatra. 172 in North Sumatra, 90 in West Sumatra, and 54 in Aceh. Meanwhile, around 289 people are still missing. 147 people are missing in North Sumatra, 87 in West Sumatra, and 55 in Aceh. An estimated tens of thousands of people also have been affected because of the floods in the 3 provinces. Severity of the flooding is evenly distributed across all regions. North Sumatra is perhaps the worst hit, judging by the death toll. And much infrastructure has been damaged and cutting off access for people. For example, the road between North Sumatra and Aceh was cut off due to high flooding. The Banda Aceh Medan National Bridge in PDA Jaya was also cut off due to flooding. It makes the aid distribution more difficult, but search and rescue teams continue to evacuate people by rubber boats due to limited road access to the flooded areas. And also the government, 28 helicopters will also being dispatched to help aid distribution and evacuation of the people affected. In addition, weather modification was also carried out in the last 3 days to reduce rainfall in all affected provinces. Meanwhile, about the aid, the majority received has come from within the country. President Prabowo has ordered to send aid to the victims. At least 4 transport planes were dispatched carrying aid such as tents, rubber boats for evacuation, electrical equipment, and communication equipment to restore network connectivity. On the other side, public support continues to pour in, with many opening donation channels on social media to help victims in 3 provinces.
All right, and what kind of aid are you expecting from neighboring countries? What are the immediate requirements of the people there?
Yes, about the aid is received has come from within the country. I haven't heard about the neighbor country, but yeah, the aid, the support continues to pour in, especially from the public, with opening donation on social media to help the victims in the affected provinces.
All right, thank you for joining us and sharing all that information with us. And viewers, with that, we move on to news from Pakistan. We're now learning that rumors of Imran Khan's deaths have been refuted by a senator from his party. He's now confirmed that he is alive and currently lodged in Adiala jail in Pakistan's Rawalpindi region. According to sources, Khan is being kept in isolation, but authorities have been continuing to exert pressure on him to leave the country. Moreover, access to Khan remains restricted. His family, lawyers, and senior party leaders have not been allowed to meet him for nearly a month, despite court orders. No photos or videos of him also have been released yet. Recent social media rumors claimed Khan had been killed in Rawalpindi's jail, but sources have assured he is safe and in good health. In a related development, Imran Khan's PTI protested outside Adiala jail this week, demanding access to Khan. A delegation led by the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa chief minister was denied entry, leading to a sit-in protest outside the prison. Khan is serving a 14-year sentence on corruption charges, which his party says are politically motivated. Prison sources have confirmed he is in good health and there are no plans to move him. And let's welcome former Indian Ambassador Suresh Goyal into the discussion here. All right, I thank you for joining us, Mr. Suresh Goyal here at NewsX World. There's a lot going on in... Sir, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you for joining us. I wanted to ask you the question here. There are a lot of rumors going on in Pakistan surrounding Imran Khan's health. Earlier as well, there were rumors back in June of him being tortured in custody. Now, rumors have gone as far as to claim that he's dead. Now, of course, a senator from his own party has confirmed that he's fine, alive inside the jail. But what do you think is happening in Pakistan? Is Imran Khan's PTI being targeted after Asim Munir's elevation? What really is happening?
Even over the last, particularly the 2 or 3 years, after the election of Shahbaz Sharif, have clearly indicated that the PTI is not on the right side of the army. And Asim Munir, whose star has been rising ever since, for the last 2 or 3 years, particularly after Pahalgam attacks and then Operation Sindhu, when he has managed to convince the USA about how Pakistan is a good ally for him. Anyway, that is aside. Both Imran Khan's party and the Pakistan army have been on the opposite sides, and Munir, I'm quite sure Asim Munir will leave no stone unturned to make sure that Imran Khan never ever becomes a problem for him. And from that point of view, to keep him inside the jail unknown and inaccessible to anyone is actually in his interest. I'm not quite sure whether Imran Khan is still alive or how good he is, his health, and whether he is able to talk to the people or not. But it is rather fishy that he should not allow anyone at all, not from the party, not from the family, to get in touch with him. And even when somebody from the party says that yes, he is in good health, etc., there is no evidence that he has produced that he is able to talk and that he is he's in touch with the party. So on the whole, I'm not quite convinced how good the situation is, but yeah, I can imagine that Asim Munir will do everything possible to keep him in the jail and without keeping him out of touch with everyone in the family and the party. He will do it. Yes.
And so what's your assessment of the UN questioning Pakistan's 127th amendment that's given all these sweeping powers to Asim Munir?
Okay, so the UN Secretary General or the UN Secretariat will raise questions on Pakistan passing those amendments. And Pakistan is the member of the Security Council. And I think it's at the end of this year or next year, when Pakistan comes out of the Security Council. And then what? I don't think the United Nations will be able to do anything at all. Even if somebody moves a resolution in the Security Council calling to question the conduct of Pakistan, I'm quite certain that the USA will veto that resolution. So in the face of it, I think United Nations can only create a noise, but there is very little that it can do. That is where the things are.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your perspective here with us. Mr. Suresh Goyal, but do stay on. Now viewers, let's move on to news from Kyrgyzstan, where polls are underway in snap parliamentary election, with allies of President Sadir Japarov expected to secure a decisive victory. The vote comes amid the absence of formal parties or organized opposition, and a win would further consolidate Japarov's control over the Central Asian nation. Since rising to power in 2020, Japarov, a populist and nationalist, has tightened his grip on Kyrgyzstan. His allies' likely triumph sets the stage for the 2027 presidential election, where Japarov is expected to seek another term. Historically, Kyrgyzstan has experienced lively political contests and street protests that overthrew leaders in 2005, 2010 and 2020 over alleged election rigging. However, since 2020, authorities have increasingly restricted media freedoms and clamped down on opposition groups. The snap vote was called after Parliament voted to dissolve itself in September ahead of the scheduled 2026 election, signaling a continued shift in the country's political landscape. I want to bring back Suresh Gopi back into the discussion here. So Kyrgyzstan is of course holding a snap election, but opposition continues to face crackdown.
Suresh Goyal, if you don't mind.
I really apologize.
No.
I apologize. But how do you assess the situation?
Yes, I'm coming to that part here. You see, democratic ethos cannot be the same in every country. Now, you have a country like Pakistan. We were discussing that just now. Well, Pakistan, they have an elected country, but the entire power is controlled by the army. Now, what would you call it? Elected democracy, autocracy, army rule, or what would you call it? I'm therefore a bit wary when we begin to call the power system in any country and begin to label them in accordance with the Western hypothesis. Take the USA. USA is a democracy. But the way President Trump is treating the opposition, the way President Trump has been able to call the federal guards into any state where he thinks that he has to intervene in the police, in the law and order situation there, he is able to take decisions through executive orders, whether it is immigration and customs related matter, or it is economic related matters, anything, taxation. He is able to take decisions, and he is practically ruling over the Senate and the Congress, whether they agree or not. So I think essentially what we need to judge is whether the government is doing good for the country or not. I don't think that we should begin to label, and whether people are satisfied with the government that they're having, ultimately they are the masters. So if people in Kyrgyzstan are not objecting to the kind of government they have, you call it democratic or whatever it is, I'm not going to question that. And if the economy is doing well and people are able to really put money into their pockets and prosper, I think that's okay, that's fine. Now, from all I hear, I may not agree with the way President behaves and the president is able to get elected again. But what I hear is that people are happy there. People are able to get money, people are able to do their businesses, etc., etc. And you don't have police excesses there, you don't have people being arrested like it happens in Pakistan and also even in the USA, I must say. So I would say that I will not be the one to ask at how Kyrgyzstan is going to elect their government if it is doing well.
All right, and we saw how Putin had visited Bishkek last week.
Yes.
There are voices coming from aides of Japarov how Western-style democracy did not really work for Kyrgyzstan, and of course they are now making closer ties with Russia, also for defense imports. how is this going to move forward their relations and Kyrgyzstan's foreign policy with, with Harperov in power?
If Kyrgyzstan is more friendly towards Russian Federation, who am I to object to that? If Kyrgyzstan is able to benefit from Russian exports, why should I object to it? If the USA begins the Venezuelan airspace, closing down the Venezuelan airspace, is Venezuela a colony of the USA? Is Venezuela part of the USA? That the USA can go ahead and close the airspace over Venezuela? I don't think so. When President Trump says that he will forgive the Honduran president for his drug crimes, is President Trump the king of Honduras? See, what I'm saying here is morality is one parameter, but the morality does not run the world. The world is run on the basis of the national interest of the different countries. That's all I would say here, and therefore, once again, I have no difficulty if Kyrgyzstan is closer to Russian Federation now, and if it is able to benefit from the Russian exports and imports.
All right, thank you, sir. Former Ambassador Suresh Goyal joins us here at News X World. And with that, viewers, let's now shift our focus. We have some more news from Bangladesh now. Bangladesh's former Prime Minister and opposition leader Khaleda Zia has remained in critical condition at a Dhaka hospital as per reports. Now, this comes as her exiled son and acting party chief Tariq Rahman signaled uncertainty over his return. Former PM's deteriorating health comes at a sensitive time for her political party, which has regained prominence after Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh's long-serving former Prime Minister, was ousted in a student-led uprising last year. Now, reacting on son's message on uncertainty on returning to Bangladesh, interim leader Muhammad Yunus had said that there are no restrictions or objections to his return. And that's all the time that we have for. Keep watching News X World for more news updates from around the world.